Hi, I'm Maciej, founder of Streamly. We link streamers with brand in an automated way, allowing them to sign short-term sponsorship deals. I will try to explain you why we believe there's a revolution taking place on the live streaming market, both in terms of content distribution and ownership. It's akin to what we know from YouTube early days. There are over 3 million streamers live each month. And all those streamers produce the content, they have very limited control over it. What this actually leads to is a situation where streamers often get exploited by the streaming platforms. Why? To understand why the market is broken, first we need to ask a fundamental question. Who owns the content? During the early days, due to limited number of streaming platforms available, streamers have been given little choice but to waive the right to monetize their content by the monopolies in charge. If streamers wanted their content to reach an audience, they were at the mercy of the broadcasting behemoths that ruled the streaming world. The formula about monetizing the content was quite simple. Streamers were given a small fraction of the revenue generated by the platform, and in some cases were left empty pocket. This is just a glimpse of the rapidly growing market. Back in 2018, its value was estimated at $8.25 billion and is expected to reach $22 billion by 2022. But due to the growing popularity in the live streaming technology, things are changing due to new platforms popping up and leveling the playing field. A streaming platform is only as good as the content available on it. However, it also requires a lot of content to reach critical mass. A streaming platform with no content is like a restaurant with no food. Why bother? So right now, streaming platforms have to compete among themselves to attract streamers. Let's break down how the streaming platforms operate, what do they offer, why the market is so fragmented, and how this will impact the entire live streaming ecosystem. You can compare a streaming platform to a publisher. They take content from the streamer and publish it, but without paying the streamer anything. Streaming platforms work with partners, brands, and media agencies because they claim they own the content. This allows them to earn money on the content they get for free, subsequently sharing some of the money with a portion of the streamers. Some refers to the biggest streamers, often being part of an esport organizations or agencies. Not only they get the revenue shares from the platforms, but also they are able to work with brands directly on their own. They are simply big enough to attract big brands. The smaller, lesser-known streamers are left alone. Until now, they were too small to get individual sponsorship deals. But technologies like Streamly have changed this dynamic. Now, micro-influencers, streamers, can work directly with brands, which disrupts the flow of money and how the market works. The role of a streaming platform is less important as the money flows directly to those who produce and own the content. These are the content creators, streamers. Previously, this privilege was limited only to the biggest streamers, agencies, and esport organizations because the process of sponsorship was manual. Now this has changed. Streaming platforms are not happy about it, but they understand there is no much they can do. It seems very obvious that what they offer, the ability of distributing the content, is no longer unique. As playing field between streamers and streaming platforms leveled, streaming platforms have to offer perks to keep streamers. Which perk is the most important? Platforms have begun to accept that all streamers, not only the biggest, can monetize their content by working directly with brands. This is a win-win situation. Platforms benefit from the content streamers produce and they share the revenue with streamers. Meanwhile, they do not forbid streamers from monetizing through their own means. With so many platforms competing for streamers for content, if one of the platforms would ban streamers from earning money on their own, from working with brands directly, those streamers would simply choose another platform. There is no justification as to why streamers may work with brands because they are big enough and others can't. So, live streaming market is very decentralized, both in terms of content production, this is streamers, and content distribution, this is platforms. At the same time, 80% of the streamers are Gen Z, and 70% of them want to be self-employed. A streaming career looks like a perfect choice for them. Research shows that they believe goods in the digital realm should be distributed in a fairer, more equal way. It's not fair that only the biggest streamers and streaming platforms have access to the revenue streams. Every market participant, both streamer and streaming platforms, should benefit from the phenomenon of the live streaming on equal terms. At Streamly, we believe that the digital world should guarantee everyone's independence. We strive for streamers to be able to work as they want and with whom they want. I simply don't believe that streaming platforms will be able to maintain their position on the market and their strategies in the long run. The market will be more decentralized, will be more divided, and technologies like Streamly's will support independent content creators, streamers. The moment for the market to change is now, and we are here to make the difference.